Money is a part of our lives, and we owe it to ourselves to make as much as we need to live a good life. Money is the reason why most people wake up in the morning. But what most people fail to realize is that money has a distinct psychology, and if you are to make enough of it, you will need to understand how it works. That is the purpose of Morgan Hoole's best-selling book, The Psychology of Money. Making money is not about making all that you can. Of course, no single person can make it all, and luckily you don't have to own all the money in the world to be happy. But making what is enough is what you should aim for. We will get to learn from today's book. The Psychology of Money is beautifully written by Morgan, who is a partner of the Collaborative Fund. Morgan takes on a simple yet powerful approach to the topic of money. Through striking real-life stories and deep-rooted human psychology, he helps the reader gain an intimate understanding of how to behave towards money, how to make it and spend it, and lastly, how to maintain wealth. In this video, we will explore some of the most important lessons from the book and how to use them in our own finances. Like Ronald Read, the simple janitor who made over $8 million, we can all become wealthy enough to live a good life with the lessons in this book. Morgan starts the book with a very interesting lesson about money. When it comes to money, we have two lenses, one that we can use to judge our own action towards money, and another which we use to judge others. We are prone to think others are crazy while we are smart with our money. Morgan reminds the reader that no one is crazy, but that everyone is acting within their own understanding of how money works and their best available options. He compares people born in 1970s with people born in 1950s. These two people will see the stock market differently because of their experiences with it. People born in the 1970s had a positive experience. The stock market boomed right from the time they were young, increasing through the years. But for people who were born 20 years earlier, the market basically was stagnant. Hence, people who lived during this time won't find the market a good investment option. It is the same market, and even when things do change, the experiences that have been solidified in our minds and souls, that they never let go of the lessons even when things do change. Our financial decisions are more emotional than logical, and that's all right, but we need to be reasonable. Just like how we cannot predict what we experience in life, making money is sometimes a thing made of luck. We can look at people like Elon Musk and Bill Gates and imagine them as heroes who single-handedly created their fortunes. But someone like Bill Gates happened to be helped by luck when he found himself in one of the only schools in the world that had a computer at the time, when a computer was like a space travel to the ordinary person. So in simple terms, our behavior is highly emotional, based on luck, risk, and some part of being reasonable. Jordan Reed was reasonable. His stories has made stories, and he is seen as a model for the ordinary man. And how you too can make $8 million. Reed was a gas station worker. He lived an extremely frugal life to the extent that his neighbor made a hat for him and another occasionally paid for his meals. When he was going to see his lawyer, he parked far away just to avoid a parking payment. But Reed was not only frugal, he also bought stocks. He owned about 90 of them. That may be too much for the average person, but they made him filthy rich, allowing him to give his kids a good start to life. Reed was unconsciously taking advantage of the law by compounding. Investing is largely a time game, and the earlier you get in and the longer you stay, the better. More than 90% of Warren Buffett was made in the last few years out of compounding. As Einstein once said, compounding is the eighth wonder of the world, simply because how dramatic it could get if you only give it time. Investing and time aren't the only secrets that Reed and Buffett share. They both have learned to manage their greed and appreciate money for what it really is, a vehicle of freedom. Once you start making money, it gets to a point where more money doesn't add more happiness to your life. Yet most people will risk what they have and need to get what they don't have and don't even need, which is not sound at all. Money buys you freedom and allows you to live a life that makes you feel fulfilled with a lot of options. Most people want to keep up with the Jonasons, by buying flashy things hoping that they would be loved by others. But do you think people really see your flashy watch or car and think about you? Chances are that they're thinking how nice your car is, how good they would also look when they get one of them for themselves. It's an unending cycle of trying to satisfy the ego. Once you realize that getting wealth and staying wealthy requires two different and even opposing attitudes towards money, then you would realize that buying things that you don't need but simply to satisfy your ego is the fastest way to ruin. People like Bernie Madoff were so driven by greed and a wrong understanding of money that they eventually fell to ruin. At some point, you have got to be more conservative in order to maintain your wealth and not risk it unreasonably. Just how much is enough for you? Making money, as the book describes and Ronald Read has lived, is not a result of some financial genius. Anyone can become wealthy and live the life of their dreams by following the timeless principle of money, saving and investing their money wisely.